A scientist who inspires me is Rosalind Franklin. Her contributions to science allow for our understanding of DNA's complex structure. Rosalind Franklin was a brilliant British chemist who was born on July 5, 1920, in London, England, to Muriel Frances Whaley and Ellis Arthur Franklin. From the age of 15, Franklin knew she wanted to be a scientist. After graduating from St. Paul's Girls' School in 1938, she attended Cambridge University to study chemistry. Here she earned second-class honors for her finals, which was accepted as a bachelor's degree at the time before graduating in 1941. She then continued at Cambridge to earn her Ph.D. of physical chemistry in 1945. She then went on to work at the British Coal Utilization Research Association, where she studied the porosity of coal as the assistant research officer. The next year, she was appointed to a lab in Paris, where she worked with crystallographer Jacques Mering. Here she learned how to perform X-ray diffraction, which will play an important role in her future research. In 1951, she was invited to begin working as a research assistant at the King's College, London, by Maurice Wilkins, where her newly acquired expertise allowed her to photograph DNA fibers. It is essential to note that Wilkins was out of town when Franklin was originally hired and actually mistook her for a secretary during their first encounter. It is safe to say that their relationship was off to a rocky start. Nonetheless, Franklin began her work at King's College. Alongside her graduate student, Raymond Gosling, the two discovered two forms of DNA, a dry A form and a wet B form. It was within these photographs that Photograph 51 was created in 1952. Photograph 51, which is an image of the B DNA form, became critical evidence of DNA's double helix structure. The photo took over 100 hours to acquire on a machine that Franklin herself had redesigned, and completely revolutionized the scientific world. It was the missing piece of the puzzle to allow scientists to confirm DNA's structure. This is where the controversy begins, and there are still many differing accounts of what actually happened next. Some say that Wilkins shared the photo without Franklin's knowledge with two other scientists, James Watson and Francis Crick, who were also working toward discovering the structure of DNA. Some say that she sold the photograph to Wilkins. Others argue that her work was never confidential to begin with. Regardless, Franklin's discovery was now in the hands of Watson and Crick, who would go on to publish a new model of DNA in 1953, which included Franklin's research and photographs, namely Photograph 51. While they did credit Wilkins for his research, Rosalind Franklin was not mentioned anywhere within their publication. Shortly after the paper was published, Franklin left King's College for Birkbeck College, where she studied viral RNA. Within 5 years, Franklin published 17 papers on viruses. Rosalind Franklin passed away on April 16, 1958, from ovarian cancer at just 37 years old. Many think her early death can be attributed to her life's work with radiation and the lack of safety protocols that existed at the time. She continued to work throughout her cancer treatments and up until a few weeks before her death. Her work laid the foundation for future studies of DNA and set an example for other women in the sciences to follow. Franklin is an inspiration to me and many other women who are pursuing science worldwide.